Andy from The Office.
Oh, he's still going. Hey, amigas.
Hey, amigos.
And amigos. Amigex.
That's a tight intro song that you have. Who did that?
So who did that, if you're wondering? This is Keith with me on the mic, on the pod. And he wrote the cute little jingle that you guys listen to every week. So shout out to Keith.
Yeah, I want my royalties.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
I think I need like half a cent for each time it's played.
I'll Venmo you half a cent every week.
Okay, so what camera do I look at? Is it this one or that one? Or like, do I look at it when it lights up?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, if you guys have been here from the beginning, the OG Amigas, you guys know Keith. He was my first guest along with Josh. R.I.P. Josh.
Yeah. Why'd you say it like that?
He's not
like
here. He's alive. But we had some good episodes.
Well, why don't you tell them the truth that I said, hey, you should start a podcast.
Did you? I don't think you told me that. I think that was a thought in my head.
And so
that I was like,
all the success that you have, I am very humble. And
okay.
I think all the success that you have with this podcast
and the song from the podcast, that's part of the success.
Because of me.
Okay. Well, I guess shout out to Keith. I was listening to our first podcast on the drive over here. Shout out to AJ, one of my producers,
AJ's
because
man.
The sound was horrible, like the first half of the podcast, and I apologize to anyone that had to turn the volume up and then turn it down because of my loud laugh or my mousy voice at times. So I feel like this is like we're reinventing our maybe first episode without Justine, and you did offer help, and I said thanks but no thanks. I don't want to be in charge of that. But
it's cool to, okay, all joking aside, I know I kind of like, we kind of rip on each other a lot, but it is really cool to see the community and the growth like from this and all the things that you're doing. I think it's fun to be a part of. So
pretty gente, huh?
It's pretty gente.
It's pretty cool.
So just like kind of congrats on like all the growth and stuff. I looked at the camera again.
You can look at the camera. It's fine.
How many people?
How many gente?
Let's have a conversation right now. Actually, so hold on. So I'm gonna say something and I'm gonna let them respond. So
okay. This is not live.
Okay. So
sure.
you actually, like, if you're listening, just like talk back to me. How are you?
Me?
No, just them. Just hold on. Good. Well, I just want to let you know that you are enough, and you may not have everything you want, but in this moment, you have everything you need.
Shut up.
I just want to make it feel more like
okay, but not everyone watches this. Anyways, I can still have the conversation. Let me do an intro, okay? Cállate. Let me do an intro for the episode and for you, but you can also give your own intro. This is one of my good friends, Keith. We've known each other for a few years now. We have traveled with our spouses and other friends, and it's been so fun. We're brother and sister in another life. He doesn't have any. Wait, do you have a sister? I forget.
I do. I have an older sister.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I was gonna say.
Well, you've never met her.
I was gonna say you don't have a sister and I don't have a brother.
Shout out to Jennifer Fernandez. I know I don't tell you to your face a lot, but you inspired me, and I love your kids. One being my godson.
Okay, well, now that I know you do have a sister, I'm your other sister. Your annoying, ugly sister that gets in the way of things. And we just have that kind of banter. So you guys will hear in this episode. I didn't have any brothers. I think I wish I would have had one, but like now it's fine.
But you have a ton of cousins, huh?
My Mexican cousins, yes. The ones on, so they were kind of growing up with them. They felt like my brothers too, because we all banter. It's the Mexican humor, you know.
Where are they from? Are they from Downing? Because I feel like you're like,
bro, they're in Mexico.
Where are you from? No, but the Sydney and
that's my mom's side of the family. They're Peruvian. They're South American. My dad's side is Mexican. My mom's side is South American.
Which side is Puerto Rican though?
I am not Puerto Rican.
So you speak Portuguese?
Eu falo português.
Português.
Yeah.
How do you say? How do you say? How are you? Is it
Como
like
vai você?
Vai Brasil. Vai Brasil.
Okay, what are we gonna talk about this episode? We're gonna talk about, as much as we're goofing off, we're gonna talk about art, creativity, feeling inspired, feeling uninspired. The new year has started. Lots of people.
We're gonna invent words. By the way, disclaimer real quick. When I listened to our last ones, the first ones we did, I was like, there's probably so much incorrect grammar in there. First of all,
for sure.
I made up so many words. Probably interrupted. I'll try. I'm gonna be on my best behavior.
This
I'm gonna
is
be
already
my best.
the first interruption.
Yes,
but
I know. But I mean, it's about the guest, you know. So please bear with me if I'm like maybe making up a bunch of words or I'm ranting on, or like you can stop me.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you shut up.
Can you guys do that?
Okay, we're gonna talk.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna talk about feeling inspired and uninspired. The new year has started. A lot of people have their goals written out. A lot of people are reflecting about what they did last year, maybe what they didn't do. So I thought it would be fun to talk. We like goof around a lot, but we also like go from like, we just switch. We're like, like laughing, and then we just go to like, yeah, so I'm like really like depressed right now and like feeling uninspired.
I think people that are like they're like 0 to 100, or like the people who are like, what am I trying to say? Yeah, my first mask, or people that you meet like that are like really funny or like really entertaining,
Yeah.
they're going all out. They are probably like, they're very, very deep too.
Yeah.
And I've been learning like with myself of how to like be a little bit more representative of like not having the funny mask on all the time. I love to have that. And I think that engages people, and I don't have a problem being that. But also to be like, hey, I have like, there are other, to anybody, like there are like other sides. So yeah, I love that fact that like we can kind of go all spectrums.
No, it's fun. All the things. I love it. Do you want to give a quick intro about who you are, what you do?
My name is Keith. I do music.
What did you say?
You said a quick intro. So.
Okay, who are you? What do you do? Where you from?
My name is Keith. I'm from Irvine. I'm 33. I do music, and I'm a music educator. And I have a wonderful wife. Her name is Emily, and she's my rock, my soul, my foundation. She saved my soul. And that's good. Is that quick enough?
You're a teacher. You You have a band called Walk Jog, which is gonna be something that we're talking a lot in this episode.
Yes.
How, I guess like one of my questions is, what inspired you to start music?
Should I really redo the whole like
If you want, go ahead.
They're probably
You have a minute,
the listeners are probably just like, okay, yeah, I think we get it. Okay. If you did not catch what I said, but the subtitles are going to be up there?
No, it's fine.
All
no.
right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Just put the captions on for the spot that I spoke really fast. My name is Keith Fernandez. I'm 33. I'm happily married to the other half of Walk Jog, which is our band, me and Emily Fernandez. Shout out to my wife, who I love so much. And we get to do this cool music project together. And follow us at Walk Jog Band on Instagram. Listen to us, Walk Jog on Spotify.
What's like your genre, real quick, of music so that people know?
If I were to just kind of like give a quick, probably like a bedroom pop, indie rock type vibe. I like a lot of synth stuff, a lot of synthesizers, synth poppy. A little bit. So that's the band stuff. And then I am going on my 6th or 7th year of being a music educator in elementary school, Cypress School District. I love my job, love those students, and I'm primarily doing general music with preschool to 2nd grade. I do some choir stuff and music tech stuff too. And so that's the career and what I do. I'm 33. I'm Mexican American.
Talk about where you're from. What you represent. What's up, fool?
I act like I'm all hard, but I'm a poser.
You feel
I'm always around a lot of hard people, though. I'm from 562 Santa Fe Springs.
What's up?
With all the 3rd and 4th generation Mexicans.
No Sabo kids.
Hey, They're on the rise. We're rising up to be against.
This is the second no sabo I've had on the podcast.
Who is the first one?
Actually, it was you technically, but like
I was
as
the
of
first
recently,
one.
yeah,
I was there from the start.
You were
Yeah.
a no sabo from the beginning.
Yeah,
it's fine. We still love you.
Me gustaría hablar en español mejor.
Wow.
Yo necesito practicar. Yo entiendo mucho.
Sí.
Mm-hmm.
Pero
Okay.
no entiendes la palabra gente, but that's fine.
Sí. Vai Brasil. Okay, I'm from San Fe Springs, 562. Shout out to Mikey G, Darian King, Keith Gaines, even though he's from Compton. Danny Fernandez, Teresa Fernandez.
Are they going to be listening to this?
I don't know. Probably not. Okay, so I'm from San Fe Springs. And honestly, if people don't know where San Fe Springs is at, sometimes I'll just like say like Whittier.
Yeah.
Because Whittier's a little bit like more known.
Downey,
Norwalk, Lamrod.
Yeah.
All those towns are conglomeration. Is that the right? I don't know if that's the right word. San Fe Springs.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I feel like that's good. You do all the things. I feel like
I'm also from LA Fitness. That's one of my sponsors. Make my gains there. If you guys are watching. That went from a golf ball to a tennis ball. Too, actually.
So you're very well-rounded. You do a lot of things. I relate because I also do a lot of things. I feel like, hold on, this is like something random. I don't know if you relate, but I feel like there's a part of me that's like super artsy and like deep and shit and like really into like music, art, all that stuff. But then there's like a part of me, I've never been an athlete, but then there's a part of me that's like, I love working out. I love being at the gym and like that culture, but I almost feel like sometimes like the two worlds don't mix. You know what I mean? I don't know if you ever feel like that. I'm like,
yeah, I think at first glance they don't, but I think, I don't know if this is like answering like the question or kind of expanding on it correctly, but they don't mix, and one is like in a general sense, one is more like artsy fartsy, like creative mind, and the other one is like more like discipline and like
work hard,
you know. But I do think that the more you do, the more like you learn how to like inform other things with everything that you've done. So I do notice that like I wrestled in high school. You know, I was a decent wrestler. I wasn't the best. I wasn't the worst. But I noticed that when I went to school for music, that the discipline that I learned in wrestling, I was able to apply it in music. Because I feel like I came in to Azusa, shout out to Azusa Pacific University. Shout out to,
they're sponsoring
well,
us.
Actually, legitimately, R.I.P. Harold Clausey, my choral director.
Oh no!
Why are we laughing? That was inspiration.
Oh no, because you said
well,
legitimately R.I.P.
Because we had said R.I.P. to Josh. So I wanted to be real. Now it sounds mean.
Wait, that's so sad. Oh shoot!
But I came in late to like the music game, so I feel like the discipline I learned from things like sports, I was able to apply it to like my music practice. Why are you listening to me? You just
I'm
like
listening.
look. I was talking to you and you checked yourself out of the mirror.
I'm listening.
You're just
I looked away for 1 second.
You're like
I looked away for 1 second.
This fool, if you're just not listening, I was talking to her. She checked herself out in the mirror.
I thought my clip was crooked.
Oh
Anyways,
my
I'm
gosh.
listening. Go ahead.
But to kind of circle back around, I love, I like very much into fitness right now too.
Yeah.
I feel like I got out of it for a while, but I'm getting back into it. I'm trying to pick up boxing a little bit more. I love watching like hockey, and Emily and I, we just went ice skating, and I was like, oh, I want to get like a hockey stick. So yeah, I just think we're passionate people. I think passionate people, you know, so like anything we do, we're just like, I just want to go like fully in.
Yeah. And we relate a lot on that. And it's funny because we married people who are like very like pretty type A, responsible.
Yeah, you married the... on it. What did we message each other yesterday? Oh, because like we were in the group text. So Val helps a lot with like our walk jobs stuff. I don't know exactly what would you say your title is?
Walk jog mommy.
She's a walk jog mommy. She's a walk jog mommy
manager.
She's helping us with social media and connections and all that stuff. So we were all in a group message yesterday, and I don't even know what was going on, but Emily put like a
She
schedule.
put like a schedule, like we're meeting at this time. Here's a location, and then podcast. And we are both like, thank you.
Yeah, and I was just like, we would not get anything done if it was just me and you.
No.
So thank God for Zach Metz, for Emily Fernandez, because they are the balance to us, because if it was just us, like nothing would get done.
We would just we would just vibe all day with
yeah.
That's like everything I've been saying. I literally said this to Hendrix yesterday. I was like, when the inspo hits, like he was asking me like, oh, when are we doing this? I'm like, when the inspo hits, we'll just vibe with it. And he just looked at me like, what did you just say? And Zach's like, why are you telling our 6-year-old when the inspo hits? But it's
I could just see him. He's just like, I just wanted a snack. Rio is going to be, I think your daughter is probably going to be more like you, and Hendrix will be like more like Zach. I don't know. I'm just kind of.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah.
Because she's like a little fireball of like energy.
Yeah.
She's 3 now?
She's 4. Oh my God, she's 4 now. Yeah.
Oh my
You went to her birthday party a few weeks ago.
I did the Barbie birthday party.
Her Barbie birthday party. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like that's often a theme with like, I mean, people out there can correct me if they're wrong. Zach is creative in his own way, but I'm definitely like, when I'm feeling uninspired, I just sit in it. And it took me a long time to get there because I've learned that if I fight it, like it's literally like when the inspo hits, when I feel inspired, I'll do it. Like even planning.
Maybe that's what I need to do. Yeah.
Sit in it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we were planning our art show last summer, Cambria, who's like, she was, for those of you who don't know, I was hosting the art show with her, and she's pretty like, not type A, but just like likes to have like tasks done, likes to know things. And I'm just like, okay with not knowing. I'm just like, it's fine, whatever. And literally the week of the art show, she was like, how are you going to set up your things? Do you have your prints ready? And I'm like, no, I'll vibe with it. And she's like, you are stressing me out. And I'm like, it's fine.
Yep.
Like,
it's the yin and yang of life. And let me tell you something, folks. Rollerblading, you don't go straight in rollerblading. You go left and you right. And guess what? You go forward. So you need that other side. That was wisdom right there, huh?
Joe, you can't drop the mic, you dummy.
It's a dynamic mic and it has a padding. AJ, am I right? And it was on a couch.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But you shouldn't.
It just peaked.
No, it didn't
Okay.
Okay, well, let's talk more about feeling inspired and feeling uninspired. I hosted a creatives dinner, I think when was this?
I know what we could talk about in a moment, but continue to go.
I think it was in the spring of last year, because I think it was right before we went to Europe.
Thanks for the invite, yeah.
I think did I not?
Mm-mm,
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're invited to the next one.
Yeah,
sorry.
Cool.
But we were going around the table asking what do you do?
You?
Well, what do you do when you feel uninspired? And we were asking what's like the hardest part about like for your creative journey, like as of now. And one of the guys who was there, he was just so well spoken, but someone was talking about how like, oh, I'm in a rut. I'm like trying to fight it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like doing all these things so that I can feel inspired again. And he just like kind of like chimed in, and it was his turn anyway. But he was like, honestly, when you're feeling uninspired, you just like sit in it. You just sit in the rut. You sit in that dark place, because if you fight it, you're going against like your creative nature. But the way he said everything, like, and he's like soft spoken too. The way he was just like talking, everyone was quiet, and it was just like, everyone was taking it in. And I thought that was such a beautiful moment. And so I feel like in general, I'm pretty good about just like sitting in the uninspo. But is that something that you're wrestling with right now? And is like, how do you get through it?
Well, before I answer on my end, I was going to ask, what exactly did it mean sit in it? Just more of like an acceptance of like, okay, I'm not really feeling like anything's like kind of coming from my well of inspiration right now.
Yeah.
Or like literally like sitting in it, meditating in it, and just like not trying to make anything happen, but just like kind of sitting.
I mean, I think that that's a form of acceptance, don't you think? Like just like sitting in it and being like, I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to think about it and just like wait for like the right, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's like when you feel like a full being too, like when you are just sitting in just acceptance of whatever it is
Yeah.
that you're feeling. Like the only, like all the happiness you need is like is exactly in the present moment. Because as soon as you're trying to grab or get somewhere, like you're not going to be in a joyful spot or a full spot or a being spot.
Yeah.
So I just wanted some clarification. Yeah. The question again? What do I do?
How do you? What was the question? I think I was asking like.
Where are we at on time?
We're good. We're fine. We're chilling.
Okay.
I was just like, how do you stay inspired and how do you sit through those moments of uninspiration when the inspo doesn't hit?
Okay, well, I don't know if I have like a straightforward answer because I feel like we were talking about this, that there's two ways people listen to music, and some people listen to the music and some people listen to the words. Remember we were talking about that? And
which one are you?
It tends to be that generally guys listen to the music.
Okay.
And generally women listen to the words. Now that's not saying that all women just listen to the words.
Because I don't listen to the lyrics.
Right.
Yeah, I listen to vibes.
And I could maybe be off with that data, but that's how I've kind of understood it. So musically, instrumentally speaking, I feel like I'm constantly inspired.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's like all I really spend time in, being a music educator, and I'm just listening to stuff. I'm just like wondering, like it's almost like, I mean, it's like I'm not a full-on producer, sound engineer person, but that's what it is. I'm like curious, like how is this sound getting created? Like if I listen to something, I'm like, what did they do for that? So I feel like my brain is always working in that area. So I don't really lack a lot of like not feeling inspired to write something instrumentally. That's a spot that's always constant. The lyrics is the thing that gets me, and I'm learning how to. I have an insecurity around writing lyrics, I think.
Really?
It's just a judgment I'm working on of like, am I saying this right? Am I, is this coming across right? I listened to, our friend Stevie Morin is like, I lived with him. Like he's a fantastic like songwriter, and his story is so like authentic and deep, and like it just feels like he gets it like right off the back. And then when I was in my old band, Good San Juan, Austin Wilkinson, he was always just really clever, like with his word plays. So anytime I write, sometimes I think of guys like that, and I'm like, it's not sounding like how I want it to. But then I'm also playing a comparison game too, and that's the thief of joy. Yeah. I'm a Christian, so like I think that's a scripture. Like if you guys, you're not picking up. Okay, just trying to go some banter. It's from Corinthians, I think. I've been really in this spot of like, how do I feel inspired, like lyrically? So I think what you said is like really important, of like, okay, just sitting in it. And I think a part of that is it's just writing. Like Emily and I, we went to a park and we just sat literally in silence. And we just try to come up with like a few words of like, what is it that we want to say? So not really worrying about how we're going to say it, what the words are going to be exactly, but what is it that we want to say? And I feel like what you were saying, your friend at this creative thing that I wasn't invited to, said, you just gotta just sit with it and be okay with it. Yeah. That was maybe our version of doing it. But in a way, I feel like we did it to try to get to something. So I don't know if I missed a point in that a little bit.
I mean, what's crazy is like we have different types of art. Like obviously my art is with photography, yours is with music. And so
well, actually I do photography too.
Okay, whatever.
At this Polaroid.
But like, I feel like for me,
follow at this Polaroid. At this Polaroid.
Shut up. Doing things that inspire me is listening to music. Like if I'm trying to think of an idea for a photo shoot. Also, side note, with that, I'm also learning that it's okay to not bring every vision to life. I'm trying to make peace with that. Like, oh, just because I like really want to do this type of photo shoot and I have like the right person in mind, the right clothing, like all the details figured out, it doesn't, like, being okay with not bringing that to life. Because I'm like, I don't know if this is like healthy or not, but I'm like, sometimes I just want to be okay with having the vision, and that's it, you know. But anyways, I feel like for me to feel inspired, I do sit in it. I watch, like, people are so interesting with how they deal with not feeling inspired, because I feel like for me, I have to watch movies and I have to listen to music to feel something. Like I am such a feeler, and I think too, having these types of conversations, like meeting up with someone for like coffee or something like that, those are things like either in-depth conversations or like fantasy land with movies and music is where I start to feel.
What's your Enneagram? We're having such a trendy conversation.
A lot of people don't know about the Enneagram though. Like,
I feel like it got really, I feel like I'm gonna sound like such a douchebag, but I feel like I learned about it before it kind of blew up.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Me too. Just
but oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
No, but people are really into astrology that I don't think they care enough about the Enneagram. But I feel like everything, like the Enneagram feels so accurate for me, and I like the goal is like self growth.
What's your number?
So I'm a 3 wing 4, and you are a 4 wing
5.
I feel like you're a 3 too though, because you like to achieve.
There is no 3-2. That's 32.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, and it's like hard too, because I think one of the things I read too about it is it's not meant to like label somebody.
Define you,
or like that's what you are. It's like to kind of like give you an idea of like what your default setting is, and then like what can you do to work within that or change from it.
The whole goal is like to be the healthiest version of yourself. So it's actually helped me a lot learn like just the bad qualities, the good qualities, how I can use my qualities for good, how I can help growth in other people. And I don't know, I find it very interesting. Like I find it very healing and helpful for a lot of like relationships and in my own marriage. Like I'm just like, oh, like not to say like, oh, you're acting like this because you're that number, but just like it's a deeper level to understand people that I love.
Well, we're all watching the same movie, but we're all getting different information of it. Yeah, which really gets like into like very like deep of like we're all hearing the same thing, but we all have a different filter. Yeah. Like too. So like what I can say to somebody can come off as like passive aggressive to somebody, and then it can also come off as friendly to somebody that. So it kind of gives you an idea of what that person's like filter,
like what
is.
The motivation is.
But the way that you talk makes me think that like, even though I said we're trying not to label, but it makes me think that you are core 4, like you know
what? I'm having a little bit of an identity crisis, because a lot of things that I've been saying about 3s, I'm like, I actually don't feel like that's me. And I don't know if I've been concealing a certain part of myself for so long that like once I turned, actually like my year of like 29 turning 30, like I feel like I've let go of so much. And like I feel like for the first time in my life I can actually be myself without like worrying about other things. Like I feel like just very confident with this like era of my life, with the community.
I gotta go. Are they picking that up?
Yeah, it was in the last episode. It's fine. Yeah, it's okay if you guys heard the fire truck in the background.
Repeat. Back up a little bit just in case that it got over a little bit. I don't remember what I was
saying actually.
You're being okay with like who you are.
Yeah, I just feel like once
because you farted in front of me before, and I was just like, that's a little bit like. You're just like, it's okay, I'm comfortable with myself.
I feel like sorry, this is like unraveling a lot too, but I feel like when I became a mom and when I started making friends and going through that transition, I had a lot of friendships in my life at the time, like that they weren't bad people. I'm looking back and I'm like, I was not able to be myself. Like I was dressing like them, acting like them. I was into the things that they were into. And I feel like during COVID, when I was literally forced to like not work because no one was working.
Huh? That's when you were smoking all this chain smoking. I was like, Val, you need to not hang out with these people.
I wasn't smoking.
Well, you were doing the things that you said that you didn't want to be doing.
No. Bro, I'm smoking more now. That's my authentic self. I love a good drag. But I feel like during COVID, when I was like literally forced to sit and rest because no one was working, no one was doing anything, I feel like I just really tapped into my art, tapped into my identity, like who am I? And that was the year that I decided I was going to stop shooting weddings. I was like over the hustling, and I was just like, I just want to make art, and if I can make an income from that, great. But like, I'm just so tired of like living by a schedule and this and that. And like, I feel like since that moment, I have felt so free and comfortable in my own skin. So with that being said, I feel like I'm questioning my own Enneagram number now. Like maybe I am a 3 at a core, but I have a very strong wing 4, and it feels so freeing just like tapping into that. Like not what? Go ahead.
I didn't want to interrupt.
No, you can. And that's it.
No.
That's all I was
Finish.
saying. No, I mean that's all I'm saying. So, anyways, I'm. And for those of you who don't know, the 3 is a performer / overachiever, and then the 4 is like the individualist. So they, how would you describe a 4? Like, they tend to.
They don't value being the best. They value being the most unique. So
yes, yeah. And that's like for like
being the most different. They want to be the only one, which is
they
I
find
could tell
beauty,
you the unhealthy ways of that.
Yeah, and they find
too.
beauty in everything. Like they see life differently. And I feel like that's where I am struggling. I'm like, I don't care to be the best at anything. And that's where I get confused. I'm like, I'm not competitive. A lot of 3s I know, they're like competitive and like girl bosses or man bosses or whatever.
Well,
and I just feel like that's not like, if I have to hustle, it's because I literally have to, but I don't like to.
You could not, and not mine. You got to remember too that the numbers are like colors. So like there's blue, there's light blue, there's baby blue. You need some help?
I got it.
You got it, fool? She's like, just getting a quick arm workout in real quick. She's, for those of you guys not watching the video,
you guys should watch the video. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. This is we're about to go viral. Probably not, but it's like, who's listening to it's like our moms and grandma, a few of our cousins just listening to this.
Okay, finish.
Well, yeah, because you said you're like, well, what number? But oh my gosh, yeah, you guys really need to watch this one. She just dropped her Hydro Flask lid.
I need a straw.
Well, they're like color. This color is what I'm saying. So it's like you could just be like the numbers that you are, but like you're, a different shade of it. It's just
different shade of brown.
A lighter shade of brown. That's actually a rap group.
Yeah. So, anyways, I've just been like thinking about that lately, but yeah, I feel kind of inspired right now. Not necessarily to create anything, but just in general, I'm like, I'm good. I feel like very fulfilled. I feel good. I feel the energy to make things happen. And I'm also accepting like the rest that my body needs. And I don't know, like I always feel very good. Justine made a good point our last episode, because we were talking
Osoy candles at Osoy candle. Is it just at Osoy? Why am I saying it like that?
Because you're no sabo.
Osoy. Is it a Spanish word?
Soy.
Soy.
Yo soy. Well, soy.
Have you seen that meme where it's like, what if soy milk is just milk introducing itself in Spanish?
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what the and it's like 420 and like all the mathematics. You see that one, AJ?
You said that about soy recently.
Soy.
You said, I thought it was just the chorizo saying.
I'm Teresa.
Oh, soy.
Okay.
So it's saying, oh
soy.
What's oh soy though? What's that mean?
Well, her candles are soy. Like they're not toxic.
Right, but that's not Spanish. Soy
it can be. Yo soy. Yes, soy is also a Spanish word, but she didn't name it that to be in Spanish. It just.
I know, but it's not Spanish. Like it's just
not
something that sounds.
Soy, but soy is.
Oh, I am.
If she put yo soy, it would be, but
her candles are introducing themselves in Spanish. Hey, bro, we had the tree lighting one. We had that on all December. It was freaking fire. I love Justine's candles.
Justine's
the tree
candles. Yeah, no, shout out. They're the best.
Yeah.
But she was saying in the last episode, she made a good point.
That'd be a fun one. Us 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be like 3 hours long, I think. But she was saying, because I'm all like reflective and like inspired right now. And I always feel that way after the new year. But because my birthday is it's New Year's Eve, I feel extra reflective. Because I feel like everyone gets that way around their birthday. They're like reflecting on their year, looking into the new year.
Oh, you're like double. Yeah.
I'm like double like, wow. So like last week I was feeling not like bad things. I'm not like at least right now, I'm not one of those people that's like crying because they're getting older. I'm like, yeah, I'm 31. Like, that's great. But I was like really reflective and emo about like all the things that I did last year that I was proud of, and like made peace with the things that I didn't get to do, and like learning that that's okay. But so where I'm going with that is like, I feel like right now, because it is like a start to the new year, I feel like inspired. Like, I don't feel inspired to do anything right now, but I just feel, I guess, content and just like.
Well, yeah, I had my mentor was telling me this the other day. It's like you can live your life like trying to grab stuff, or just live like this. And it sounds like you're, for those of you not watching, like, so like you can have like you're always trying to grab, you know, and then, or you just have your hands open, and then just when the opportunity comes by, you know, you just, it sounds like you're living.
I'm in that place right now. And I think like, I mean, we had a walk jog meeting right before this. So like talking, so this is like the part of the three
at
that I
Walk Jog Band, follow at Walk Jog Band. Take out your phone right now. I'm sorry. Take out your phone right now. Go on to Instagram at Walk Jog Band. Go to Spotify. Type in Walk Jog. One word. WALKJOG.
Look at the cool photos and the cover art.
Yeah, it's all
me.
Val.
It's all me, my vision. Yeah.
It's really, really cool. We just was talking about how we love our first photo shoot.
Just the first one,
anyways,
like the others.
So,
you interrupted me and I forgot.
Yeah, what was the question
for
me
stop
though?
Interrupting
what was the question
me?
For me though?
I don't know. I don't remember. What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Who are you?
First it was like, are you inspired? And then we talked about the lyrics a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. That's where
but then I was talking about how I personally, because you were saying like
how you handle it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is the part of the three that I connect to. I get inspired by helping others feel inspired. So like the fact that we were like sitting down and like
you're a maximizer.
writing.
Maximizer. Right?
Sure. I don't know what that means. Maximizer.
You're like, I don't know what that means. We're just gonna take it as disrespect. Kevin Hart said that in 40-Year-Old Virgin, by the way. I always say that, but he says it, and he wasn't really a big star at the time, and he was having this conversation. Actually, everyone pause this. Go watch 40-Year-Old Virgin.
And then continue.
Let's put the timestamp to it in the podcast notes.
No, but I get like excited talking about other people's goals too. So like writing down like goals that we have for you guys for this year, I get excited by, which I think that's why for me, I feel inspired having in-depth conversations with like close people, because then I get to hear about what they're doing. And honestly, I've noticed that that's a theme that I have with almost each guest that I have on this podcast. Is I always end it with like, what goals are you working on right now, whether it's like personal or business related, which is something I'm going to ask you whenever we get to the end of this, if that ever happens. But I meant to ask this first. I want to hear about what inspired your journey with music. Like, was there a time where you were like, this is it? Like, what are the roots of your story?
We talked about this a little bit on the first one.
I know, but
it's been a while with the bad audio.
The bad audio is my fault. Sorry, guys.
Before I go into this, is it okay if I give a shout out to my sponsor real quick?
Another sponsor?
Yeah. Okay. Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay. All right, fools. Come on down to Richard's Barbers, where the downest fools give you the downest cuts. Richard's Barbers. 1040 North Tustin Street, Orange, California 92867. On Instagram, it's at Richland_barber. Phone number 714-553-6033. Richland's Barbers, where the downest fools give you the downest cuts. Those are my barbers. I've recently been going up. Yeah,
they really are.
Yeah, they've been
really
giving
are.
me. So if you guys like these firme cut, actually, it might be kind of
firme.
Hella firme. They give you. I haven't had any yet, but they give you free shots of whiskey.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
Every time I've
so
gone,
funny.
they're like, "Hey, yeah, come, we'll get you loaded." I was on my coffee right now. No, but they're pretty tight guys. I met them at a wedding, and I've recently gotten my haircuts in them, and they use the massage gun sheen at the end. I'm just like, oh,
the massage gun, like for when you're sore.
Yeah, like the Theragun thing.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I go. I don't even go. I'm just playing with the mic now. So anyways, I might have another sponsor
Okay,
later,
can you finish the question? We have more questions. To
Can I relax?
yeah.
Okay. So what inspired me? Music?
Yeah.
I think
As
it's
a creative,
I
isn't-
think it's one of those things that God knew me before in my freaking mother's womb. It was, man. I have a few very deep thoughts about this, and then you're probably like, "Oh, Keith, you're being too deep about this." But
No, go ahead.
That's the thing about being a 4-2 is like we probably look for meaning when there
In
doesn't
everything,
need to be anything.
and it's exhausting. I'm very exhausted
I know.
by that.
I get so freaking annoyed with myself
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm just
Sometimes
like,
it's not
okay.
that deep.
I'm like, it's just a bag blowing in the wind.
It's just a bag blowing in the wind.
That's from some movie.
does
But
that
there's a
mean?
Family Guy. There's a Family Guy thing. So let's put the timestamp for Family Guy. I can't tell if this podcast is going really bad or really great right now. We'll let the audience decide.
Let us know in the
Yeah,
comments.
let us
Really great or
know.
really bad.
Yes, yeah. I'm having fun though. I'm having
Okay,
fun.
good.
Okay, so in Family Guy, there's a spot where
Oh my God.
Peter is like seeing a black bow in the wind. And then he's like, "Oh, it's so beautiful." And then God's like, he's like, "It's just a bag blowing in the wind." But it's from some movie.
I
A
need
Beautiful
that
Mind.
reminder because life is too deep
I know,
for me sometimes.
I
And I'm like,
know.
and then I'm emotionally exhausted. And I'm like, it's
Yep.
really not that
Do you
deep.
meditate?
I don't know how.
How to? YouTube. Look up some YouTube
Go to
stuff.
YouTube.
No, I'm serious. Yeah.
I
no,
don't
there-
do, maybe this is something I need to practice. I don't do well sitting in silence. Like, I'm not a huge fan of yoga. I would rather do cardio and lift weights, which is why I
But that's
have-
a part of it. I think like meditation is not like trying to achieve like oneness. It's just like it's that maybe you already have done it with that whole acceptance thing sitting in it, because it's just
Yeah.
I have to kind of like be able and you know sometimes it's just like breathing in.
I
breathing
journal. Is that meditating?
out. No,
I breathe every
That's
day. I'm breathing
journaling.
right now.
but like you know really.
I do if I'm anxious, for sure.
I have to do it like I try to do like at least 5 minutes. If I have more time in the morning, I'll do more time, but I need to do that to stay balanced, because if I don't do that, then I'll like really be like too much or like
Yeah.
not enough.
Yeah.
Like that's just like I'm just like one of those people that I know my emotional levels like are a little bit of a roller coaster. Like that's the thing about being like kind of a 4 is like you can go through happy, sad, depressed, excited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in love, not in love, like all within an hour. Like,
Yeah.
you
No,
know,
it's
so
a lot.
So I just I kind of know that about myself, and I need to practice things like meditate or working out to keep me like a little bit more
Yeah,
centered.
more
So
balanced,
we'll
yeah.
talk. Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that later.
yeah.
Okay. Well, my dad is a big like, you know, just music guy. I think like, well, I don't know. I think everyone's parents, like you just listen to what they listen to.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally like when you're, I think there's study on this. When you're a kid, you don't have any like reason to like seek out or explore like
Yeah.
different types of music. You look up to like your guardians, your parents, like whatever they listen to, that's what your music taste is.
Yeah.
So a lot of, growing up, I had like just like carne asadas or like family parties, and it would often end with like my uncles in the back, and they'd just be listening to like the Rolling Stones or Santana or the Beatles or Jackson 5 or Joni Mitchell. It just like anything that was classic rock or Motown was on. Maybe some like cultural stuff too, like El Chicano. But still like our Los Lobos, like kind of like the American Latin rock vibes. So I just they were there, they were throwing a few back, carne asada, like that was such a very like belonging, very like warm feeling in retrospect as a kid, where I'm just like, oh, this is like fun, this is my family. This is when I feel the most family.
Yeah.
And the music was like so important. And my dad would be like singing along. And I had a older cousin, my older cousin David. He's like really big in like the thrash, like punk LA scene, and maybe not punk, but more thrash. And he was playing bass, and so I saw that he was playing bass. I wanted a guitar. But yeah, I would say if I could kind of pinpoint where that love of music started from, it was just always there when I was a kid. Yeah. And I think that's for probably most people too.
Yeah.
As far as when I started to pick up instruments, that was not until junior high.
Is that something that you like wanted to do on your own, or did your parents? Because my parents forced me.
No, it's what I wanted to do it on my own. Because none of my parents did any sort of art. My dad was in sales, and he was a baseball. My dad was really hoping that I would be like a baseball player, but I could not keep my eye on the ball for whatever. Like, he was a coach and on my team still, and I must have been like the worst one. I must have been like. He's like, let's try golf. You can keep your eye. The ball does not move, and I would still like slice it.
When you started showing an interest in music, was he like supportive of that?
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
I'm so grateful to my mom and dad. This anything I've chosen, they've always just been 100% supportive, and I feel like not everyone I know like gets to have that. So like, I just feel like my dad's deal was like, if you're just pursuing something seriously, and if you're in school and you're in education, I have your back. Basically, that was his deal. But he's like, if you drop out of school, like, I'm giving you shit. Like, like, you know, you're kind of like, you know, you're on your own, but I got your, that's how I understood it. But he's just always kind of had my back in anything. Yeah. So yeah, I think he was like excited. And it's always weird when you're the artful one in your family, like they do music and your parents don't do it. Like, they don't understand the world of it, but they like it still. But it is like, especially going to college for it, it's a, you know, it's a lot. It's definitely as like, you need to be as disciplined, like as an athlete to, you know, to get to the level you need to get at to, you know, graduate and be like a, you know, a teacher and things like that. So I had to work a lot.
I think that's what wrecked me when I watched Ironclad. I don't want to give any spoilers, but the whole music part of it, not having supportive parents who like encouraged a certain side of you and like forced you to be something else, like that wrecked me so much. And I don't know why, because my parents they've never really forced me into anything. My dad is the one actually who got me piano lessons when I was like 8, and it was very random. Arturo, yeah, he was like, I kind of want you to just like try this. So they hired like a private piano teacher, and I learned how to read sheet music at 8 years old. And I think,
you do a little drumming too stuff. Huh? You like when I was doing drums.
When you were teaching me drumming.
Yeah, but you already had the fulcrum down. And
yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah. Well, what's funny is I think he actually like the same. Like, him and his side of the family were very like music. Like, he showed me so many different types of music and had such an appreciation for it. But he's not one who is musically gifted. And my mom would sing occasionally. My mom would play more like disco. She played a lot of samba, like jazz, like Brazilian jazz and stuff. And so I think just that is like, because I'm really into like a lot of like different cultural music. Like, right now, like, summertime is Italian disco, fall and winter is Italian jazz. Like, I'm just like so into that. I obviously don't understand what they're saying if they
You showed
sing.
me that one Italian band singing in Spanish. Vamos a la playa. Bro, that song slaps.
I know. That song actually inspired me to do a shoot that I'm going to try for summer. But anyways, so it's, what am I saying? I'm saying 5 different things. I'm like thankful that they didn't push me to do anything. And then I ended up learning guitar when I was 15. My stepdad taught me music. And yeah, it was like one of those things where it was like just kind of like an opportunity was handed to me and I just like learned, and that was cool. But that's like not my choice of like creativity. Like, it's just something that I feel like
they didn't like expect you to be like a certain way or like do a certain thing. That's like, I feel like that's nice, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's nice. Think? Yeah, but then it's hard because they also didn't really like encourage me to like actually pursue something. So sometimes I feel like I have a million different types of creative outlets where I'm like, I want to pursue music now, and I'm like, and then I just like kind of lose interest.
I think the best balance is like when you're an individual, when you're a kid and you have passion, and the parents are just open to support.
Right.
That's awesome. But then if you're a kid, you're like, oh, I don't know. Like, this is Burger King. Like, you know, and your parents are like, ooh, support you.
Like, and my dad bought me my first camera.
Burger King? You bought your first Whopper?
My first Whopper.
I don't think I've ever had a Whopper, by the way.
that the thought of having Burger King. hurts
AJ,
my
you just
stomach.
looked at me like you
Should we-
haven't.
But
I feel like people don't acknowledge AJ enough in
I
the
do.
in the podcast.
I just shouted him out.
Have they ever
earlier.
seen him?
No.
Can you show your face real quick or no? You don't want to do that? Okay, he's saying no. All right. Where's Penny at? Their dog. We should let people know more about like where we're at.
Yeah, the address.
Yeah,
Their
let's tell them the address.
socials, their
Hold on.
routing number.
What's your full name?
Okay.
Anyway, so feel free to rob it after.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we on
but-
time?
Yeah, we probably have a little bit more left. But yeah, so anyways, what I'm saying is, yeah, I think that they just had hoped that I had gone to college and like gotten a degree in something, and I ended up like dropping out. But my dad has actually been really supportive of that, and my mom's been like, she's just kind of like, well, it's your life, do what you want. I think because I got married super young too, she was like, I literally can't tell you what to do, but like I could tell she wasn't okay with the idea of me dropping out. But then I ended up shooting a wedding in Peru, and she went with me to that wedding. And she was like, your job is hard. And I was like, thank you. Like, there was like acknowledgement. And because of that acknowledgement, I felt very like,
and I think people
validated.
just need to see that, like, yeah, being I think art especially is like misunderstood as like, oh, it's just fun and it's frivolous and stuff. But yeah, of course it's those things. But yeah, there's a lot of like prep, there's a technique, there's a skill to it. And I think people look at like things like photography or music or acting. I take an acting class. I haven't told you. Yes. But they look at it as just like fun.
Yeah.
They don't look at it as like all like the technique and the skill and the things you need to like really be disciplined and like work at. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, are you currently working on do you have any goals, business or personal?
I feel like the goals I started a little bit more like before the new year, but just continue to just like be going to the gym consistently. I've been doing, I don't know if they count as real ones, but I've been doing cold plunges every day.
Oh, that's
wow. My pool in the condo area I live in is not warmed up during like the winter, so it's just I need to get like a thermometer. What is it? The pool thermometer?
Yeah, a thermometer.
Thermometer. How do you say it? ¿Cómo se dice thermometer in
Tu
Spanish?
madre.
I need a tu madre for the agua. So yeah, I've been doing that, and that's another thing to kind of help like regulate my emotional state too.
Yeah,
because it's really good.
There's a lot of benefits.
Like, and your body's like generating its own heat. You're burning like fat. You're it's good for your skin. I've noticed I've kind of dealt with like eczema on my elbows, but it's been really down. It's been really down lately. So I guess one of the goals would be, I've been doing actually my whole winter break, I've been doing the sauna and a cold plunge every day.
That's cool.
So I want to kind of continue with that. Probably one of the main personal goals is to go to bed on time and not be looking at my phone like after
that's
like
a huge
8:30.
One. Yeah.
Because I can tell it's getting in the way of my sleep. And another one is I've just kind of recently picked up like boxing and getting into shadow boxing, and trying to work on my form and things like that. That's like another And what was the question?
Like business or personal goals. You went over personal, so do you have any walk jog goals? Anything you want listeners to know? Yes.
So we have an album that is going to hopefully be dropping sometime later this year, 2024. So we've been working with David Rocha. He's a phenomenal musician and producer, and he has been helping us work towards our past things that came out have been EPs, but this will be like our first like album. So like more songs on it. It's definitely got like some different things that we're trying out, but it's still very much us. So yeah, we're kind of in the middle of that right now, and that goal is to kind of like get it out there. And once it's out there, I want to really like get it in people's like ears and not just let it sit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited.
I know. I feel like we're kind of wrapping it up a little bit, but I forgot to mention that if I haven't mentioned, I took an acting class. And what I learned is doing these things to help with acting. And if you really do act out there, please forgive me if I'm explaining things. I'm a musician first. So we're going to do an open scene. Okay.
Wait, I'm intimidated.
So an open scene is just a bunch of text, and we're going to add our own subtext to it.
I'm scared.
Okay.
Wait, subtext. Okay.
So let's just read through it. I'll be A and you be B. Okay.
I literally just read.
Just read it.
Okay.
I'll be A and you be B. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do an open. This is called open scene 3. We're just reading through it first. Okay. Just calm down. We're not going to don't jump to it. Okay. All right.
I'm like costume change.
All right. Okay. Well.
How are you?
I'm not all that well, really.
Why? What's the matter?
The usual things. How are you?
I'm fine.
It's been a long time.
Yes, I thought of you the other day.
Why?
It's nice sometimes to think back, isn't it?
Absolutely. How's everything?
Oh, not bad. Do you know how long it's been since we met? 2 years.
Long time. Okay, so now put your own flavor on it, and you can add any sort of thing. Okay. So what we did in class is like we kind of like sat with it with our partner for a little bit and like, okay, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
But let's just kind of see like.
Okay. I love this. Okay.
Okay, let me get center myself real quick.
I'm meditating right now.
Let me mash my M and so my okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Do you want to be A?
You're A. No,
okay,
I
I'll be
already
A.
rehearsed for B.
Well,
how are you?
I'm not all that well, really.
Why? What's the matter?
The usual things. How are you?
I'm fine.
It's been a long time.
Yes, I thought of you the other day.
Why?
It's nice sometimes to think back, isn't it?
Absolutely. How's everything?
Oh, not bad. Do you know how long it's been since we met? 2 years.
Long time.
End scene.
That was really dumb. I started off like...
Did you write this? This does not make sense.
I have another one.
How many of these do you have?
Do you want to hear more of my sponsors?
Oh my God.
I don't even... Is this...
This is our end scene.
I can't tell if this is good or bad. Okay, let's try this one.
Okay. Did you literally write these?
No,
This is
no,
terrible.
no.
Okay.
And for everyone who does actually do acting out there, please forgive us. But acting is all about... Did you think that I was American? Because I've actually been acting this whole time. I am British.
We should do the next one with a British accent.
Just do a whole British accent.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you be A, and why don't we just go straight into this?
Okay. Shoot.
Oh
no.
Can you
No, here, use this.
Come on.
I told you to be careful.
I wasn't... It just happened.
There, let me see.
Oh, where are you going?
For help.
And leave me here? You can't just leave me here.
You stay here. I'm off to get help.
No, please. One more time. Try it again.
Stay here. I'll be right back.
Let's do it one more time. But we'll do like a different emotion.
We're done. Thank you so much for listening to Hey Amigas / Hey Amigos.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da,